Hello and welcome to this, the 15th in our series, The Mystic Bible, where we've been taking a look at this 500-year-old Bible and drawing some analogies with experiencing the supernatural or the more mystical sides of Christianity and faith. Now, somebody came to me today and said that they didn't really entirely grasp what I was doing here. And that's not really a surprise because I haven't been clear about this journey that we're making towards Easter. All I've said is it's a Lent journey, that we're going to set aside some time, that we'll pray and that we'll think on these things. And one of the reasons I left it vague was because, in a sense, I'm hoping people will fill the gap with their own thoughts and their own prayers and their own understanding of spirituality. However, to avoid confusion, I'm going to do something slightly different tonight. I'm just going to explain the purpose of the journey. When you look at a 500-year-old Bible like this, one of the expectations is that you will accept the supernatural and the physical, what we would think of as the normal world, um, all in one. They're not divided, they're not separate. Now, this particular image, which shows the king and Daniel at the beginning of the book of Daniel, chapter 1, is actually mostly just the physical world that we know. But if there was a dream going on, that would be included. If there were angels or whatever, the images would just be wrapped in with everything else that was going on. I come from a very prosaic background. I used to drive vans and work in factories, and I think of myself as being very down to earth. But in my life, I've also been very privileged and lucky to have some experiences of some things that I can't explain. I've had what perhaps we might describe as transcendent experiences, feelings of spiritual enlightenment, of these tremendous experiences of being perhaps touched by emotions, touched by the hand of God. And that is a privilege. And I've also had, as many ministers do, I've had 3 years at a theological college in order to sit and reflect and think about these things. Now, the reason I say that that's enormously privileged is I know that lots of people don't get that opportunity. So for Easter, what I was trying to do and what I'm hoping to do is just to share a bit of that experience that I've had. Because actually, I don't think it's fair that some people don't get to spend 3 years studying their faith. I think it's one of those things we should, if wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all have that opportunity to set aside that space and time. I don't have 3 years, I have 4 minutes a night building up to Easter. So that's what this is about. And to show you how that works in terms of the picture that we've got in front of us, Daniel is drawn in by the king who is looking for people to serve him. And this puts Daniel in a very difficult place because religiously, morally, he doesn't feel that he can serve the king. But we know, despite the difficult circumstances, that in the end, Daniel has this tremendous and inspiring opportunity to explain and show to the king what God is really like. That opportunity to engage with the beauty, the majesty, the wonder, the supernatural, miraculous side of God. And that came out of circumstances that he didn't even want to be in the first place. And that feels a bit like my life journey. So one of the ways I can engage with that spirituality is to say, where am I? How do I experience what Daniel's going through? Well, that felt a bit like my life and the things that came out of it. So I hope that explanation helps a little bit. That's why I'm trying to do this, is because actually I think we all deserve an opportunity to experience those transformational moments and to be allowed an opportunity to meet God in whatever way we choose or want to do that. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow. That was just a slightly different approach tonight, and we'll do a little bit more tomorrow.